I told them I was studying about the religion, and I told them the things that I really liked about the religion. It was a shock for them because I kept it from them while I was studying, because I wasn't really sure myself, and so I didn't want to tell them and have them worry and get disappointed in me until I knew that this was the path I was going to be taking and it was going to change my whole life.
If my daughter were to come to me and say that she was going to convert to Muslim, I would be shocked at first, but then I would be very comfortable. I would feel like, okay, converting to Muslim is not a bad thing, and it's a good way of life, and I would be happy for her.
The initial reaction of my family members were quite different, actually. My mother used a lot of emotion. When I spoke with her, she would cry. And my brother, on the other hand, he was a little more angry. Now, my father, who was a minister, his take initially was very soft. I mean, he loves me no matter what, he would say. And he just wanted me to be happy. And he said, if this makes you happy, then I want you to do it. But then he would kind of change his mind a little bit, and he would tell me, he would try to kind of preach to me, just as a protective father, I think. So in his way, he has both sides. But now he has gotten to meet my husband, and alhamdulillah, my parents are very supportive of both of us, and they just want to see us more. They just want us to come visit them and just call them, and so we do that. And my father just sent us gifts recently, just out of the blue. I mean, they do these things. So alhamdulillah, I have a very supportive family.
تقول جينيفر إنها تلقت تشجيعاً كبيراً من زوجها وعائلتها.
I do feel very supported by my husband throughout this journey in learning Islam. He's very patient with me. If I do go through a hardship, if I might be on the phone with a family member and I might get upset over something that was said, or actually recently visiting home, for my grandfather passed away, and I had to go through a lot of things with my family and having a Christian burial. And what I've learned from Islam about Islamic burial is very different. And so, you know, I came home very, very saddened by this, you know, and so he was very supportive and trying to help me cope with things. And usually he will just tell a story, or he will change the subject or make me feel comfortable, and he will just remind me to be thankful, to say alhamdulillah, that I've been guided, and so that always makes me feel better. I think the concepts and the notion of wearing the veil is a very beautiful thing in Islam, of course, because it came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's asked us to cover and to be modest, and it really is something special that I didn't realize before. Before I became Muslim, I spent an hour fixing my hair, makeup, you know, clothes, just have everything right to go outside. And doing what? I don't know. I mean, I feel like no woman really likes to be looked at by men other than with respect.
As far as hijab, I never mentioned it to her. And I think it was part of her work, because afterwards she converted shortly, a couple of weeks after that.
About a month.
About a month after that, she got the job at the mosque, at the school, which nearby the mosque. And I think all the staff there, they were hijab. So that was an encouragement for her to wear hijab.
I started wearing the veil when I started working at an Islamic school. And this was something that was required of all the staff members, is to wear a scarf. And at first I was a little nervous about it. I wasn't sure how I would work with it, because it was an extra clothing, you know, extra fabric, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get hot. It's not going to be very comfortable. And so those first few months when I started wearing it, it really wasn't for the right reason. It was really just for work, and I would take it off after work. But then the more I learned about Islam, the more I loved the religion, loved Allah, the more I realized that this comes from Allah, and that I do need to wear it. Occasionally you get some odd looks, but I just really ignore it. I'm usually, if I'm shopping at the market, I'm just paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm not looking for people of how they're looking at me. And so when you think about this, and how when I did get married, it's a beautiful thing to come home and take off the veil and to fix your hair and to put makeup on and to wear nice clothes for the man that's really close to you. And it's something that you could share together, and it's special.
And of course, it's two different cultures, but I try to focus about what's common. I mean, yeah, like now, I think she's learning Algerian culture too, as far as like food. She's cooking like couscous and ta'am.
Before I became Muslim, before I got married, cooking wasn't really a priority of mine. I really just got by with, you know, even cereals and fruits and very quick things, sometimes eating outside. And now I have much more motivation. One, I work with many different diversities of women, and they have some really great food, and I love getting recipes from them. And when I got married, even more really was important to me to be able to cook well and have dinner for my husband when he comes home from work. And so I try my best to cook things that he might be used to from back home.
Last time we went home and she saw my sister cooking coconut milk, and she went to the store and she bought it, and now she's using it to cook a lot.
I have met my husband's family on a few occasions. We've traveled to see them in Washington, D.C. I think I've met everyone except for one, and she lives in Algeria, so inshallah we will get to go visit her very soon. Francesa, is that how you say it? The chickpea powder in the water?
Yeah, she made actually granteda, which is like the Algerian food. It's like once a week we do it, and it tastes exactly the same. I mean, my sister gave her the recipe, and she did it a couple times, and it comes great. It's like I'm eating granteda bablouad.
And so for me it was important to try to bring some of Algeria home to him way out here in California. Even though I'm American, I do try to make food in more sauces, and he likes to have his bread and couscous. I have learned to make couscous and a few other things, and inshallah I will learn more as we go on. We're here at Total Women. This is a gym owned by an American. How are you today? How are you? Great, thank you. Especially just for women. And it also has a spa and where you can get facials and massages. It's a really great place where my friends and I come. As an American Muslim, I feel like the veil is not an obstacle for me at all. I enjoy all kinds of activities like biking, running. I can go to the beach and even swimming. Most of all, I love horses and I love riding horses. And so I found a way to even enjoy my hobby but still be covered.
Look, he stopped so he knows he's on camera.
I don't think that being an American contradicts being a Muslim at all. I mean, especially here in America, you know, they do have a freedom of religion, freedom of speech. We are protected here more than other people are in other countries. So I do feel very fortunate and blessed to grow up in a society where I feel like I can be whatever I want to be.
تقول جينيفر إنها تكرس وقتها وجهدها لتساعد الآخرين لتعلم المزيد عن الإسلام.
So since I became Muslim, I took some time to learn the prayer. And for me, I'm a very visual learner, and I needed to write down pieces of the prayer in order to help myself memorize them. And since then, I have had this idea to help other new Muslims, to help them through this process faster. And so what I've done is I have created these cards that are intended to walk a new Muslim through the prayer. It's step by step. The Arabic is broken down into English transliteration, and then there is a translation for what you are saying, because I feel like in order to have sincerity in your prayer, you really need to know exactly what you're saying in your native language. And so inshallah this will help new Muslims learn the prayer much faster. I feel like there's great support in the Muslim community here in Southern California. In other places, I might feel like more of a minority, where I used to be of the majority white Christian race, and I feel like being a Muslim, you might feel like a minority. I think some people do. But in this particular community, there's a lot of support, and I have a lot of friends.
The community, they are really activist and really, really good. I mean, they get involved with the neighbors, they get involved with the state, they get involved. I mean, they show themselves, they don't just sit.
There's halal stores that you can buy meat from, and there's many Muslim businesses around here that support each other. And having a mosque that is very active in the community, they have a lot of interfaith events and a lot of classes, so you can go and educate yourself, and you meet a lot of people through that, as well as working at an Islamic school as well.
And she's in the right place as far as Islam. Of course, she's walking around. There's Imam, mashallah, is really good. I mean, I think you saw the mosque with her office at. I mean, if there's any question, I prefer that she ask him, because he's much more qualified than me. He has much more knowledge than me.
Before we got married, we met with the Imam, and he did ask us this very question, if the traditions and the cultures, mixing them, if it would be difficult. And there's times that maybe it's difficult, you know, for my family and perhaps his family too, because I wish I could speak the language to, especially my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and it is difficult to not
like
be able
last
to speak
time,
with
of course,
them.
that's the issue. I mean, I wouldn't say the issue. That's hopefully maybe in the future it wouldn't be an issue. Like she went home and my dad and my mom were there, and my mom really won't talk to her bad, but they were talking like little kids, body language, holding each other. And
Really, everything in Islam is meant to bring you closer to Allah. When it's praying, you know, you're close to Allah. When you even make wudu, and even just saying salams to someone, I love this greeting. Assalamu alaikum, I love this greeting, because you're blessing someone and you're remembering Allah at the same time. And this is something that you don't get in other religions, and also as an American, I mean, we just say hello or hi or how are you doing. It's not the same, you know, you're leaving God out of it.
And that this is a wonderful, wonderful way of life. It's such a peaceful way of life that I almost wish that everybody could feel and learn what I've learned in the year and a half that they have been in my home.
Nice, very good, thank you. When I work at the Islamic school, Jazakallah khair, you know, this is a nice thank you, you know, and Barakallah fiki, it's also a nice thank you. I mean, it's blessing another person, and then you receive the blessing back. Even when you sneeze, it's the same thing. So you're constantly, you're remembering Allah, you're remembering the oneness of Allah. And this is a beautiful thing about Islam, is how people interact with each other.
This is something that I don't think anybody could ever change. She was meant to be what she is and what she has become. And she's quite an astounding young lady. She really is.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم. رضا من كاليفورنيا. نتمنى لكل شعب جزائري رمضان مبارك، وربي يتقبل صيامكم وقيامكم، وإن شاء الله ما تنسوناش بالدعاء. والسلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone in Algeria, especially my mother-in-law and my father-in-law.